city council meeting, they propose a mask mandate. And mind you, like, while we spend hours fighting about this, we can't talk about very important stuff. Like, there was also a housing study that was released. There were all sorts of zoning cases that were, some of which were pretty interesting. Really important city conversations we should be having, but instead we're going to argue for 2 hours about this. And so I'm going to play a little bit of this. I don't know how much I'll play, but
our community transmission level is high. Actually, the level to be high is 100 cases per 100,000. Yesterday, we were at 365 per day. So we have issues there. Our case rates continue to be very high. Our positivity is still very high. Actually,
and the guy speaking here is with the health department. So I can't quite remember his name, but anyway, one of the main guys over at the health department.
State had the 4th highest positivity in the nation 2 days ago. I don't know where that's at right now. So our deaths, that's 10. Now this data right here is for Oklahoma County. So I just want you to be aware of that. Our 60% of our eligible population is fully vaccinated, and our new hospital admissions are 383. Next slide, please. So if you can look at this, about 2 weeks ago, we thought we were on a plateau, and we were, and guess what? The plateau moved. So we're back into a case rate increase now, and our cases per 100,000. Our deaths lag a little bit, and I'll be honest, I don't think we've had the same issues in Oklahoma County as we've had in some other parts of the state. So next slide, please. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a longitudinal look. So the first slide that I saw you with a green line, or I showed you with a green line, was just for the month of August.
Get it together here.
And that's to show the recent increase. I think most of you know we didn't have the Delta variant in here until July. So that's where you're going to see things start to move again. So this is hospital admissions. I want to bring some facts up here in a minute. So this is our new admissions. As you can see, they're all going in the wrong direction. So what I wanted to bring up, I think every day you guys are hearing about ICU capacity, hospital bed capacity. The issue that we have is not hospital rooms, it's staffing. We're probably pretty close essentially to being at capacity now. There's quite a few less staff here.
And I'm just gonna pause it there for a second. I mean, to get personal, experiencing this right now. Father went into the hospital for a, test that came back abnormal, and literally cannot find a hospital. And this is in Maryland, so it's not even in Oklahoma where our numbers are considerably higher than theirs. You can't find a hospital because there's no staff. Think about that. People who require urgent medical care are being shuffled around or told they have to wait because a bunch of dumbasses won't go get their vaccine, which overwhelmingly keeps them out of the hospital, if not prevents COVID totally, but overwhelmingly keeps you out of the hospital. And I mean, it's the same with the mask mandate. People being like, masks don't work, or I don't believe in masks, or I don't want to wear a mask. You can wear a mask, but I'm not going to wear one. It's it doesn't work that way, man. The mask stops, you from projecting your germs all over other people. So it's imperative that actually the other person, when in the presence of someone, is the one wearing it if they want to protect the other person. So it's I don't know why people don't understand this. We'll get to some of the clips. I mean, it's just bananas. And I mean, I don't know how much we need to keep giving these presentations. It's not working, and at some point, you have to pick a side, and you have to pick whether or not you want, because look at some of these comments. No mayor can make a law, no health officer can make a law. Jurisdiction charter advises their authority. I don't even know what that means. Executive orders are not the same as laws. State health orders are not a law. And I mean, we can debate the semantics of a law, but it's just, it really is this sort of what a child does to you. Any of you that have children, what a young child does. I'm not going to do that because you told me to do that. And it's well, I mean, we can play that, but then you're going to lose your iPad. So what do you want? Like, do you want to do it because I told you to do it and you just want to be obstinate, or do you want to lose your iPad? Like, that is your choice. Like, free country. But those are your choices. And like, that's what these folks, I mean, are honestly begging for. Like, they clearly, I mean, you know, the ivermectin's gotten to their brains. Like, there's nothing going on up here. I mean, even like the Robert Hefner, and I don't know if I have this clip queued up. But anyway, the Robert Hefners and the Carol Hefners of the world, like, there's nothing going on up here. Like, it's just all gone. So, I mean, they just need rules. And Robert Hefner is very much the 6-year-old, 5-year-old thing. Like, I'm not going to do this because you can't tell me what to do. And it's like, well, buddy, we can. We live in a country of laws, even though I think many of the laws are, in fact, stupid. And, you know, we should change some of them. You know, the ones that protect thousands of people from dying or keep hospitals from overflowing are, you know, among the better ones we try to have. And, you know, these folks just don't think the laws apply to them. And we'll see more of that.
Sorry, got somebody heckling me back here. So,
yeah.
Go ahead.
So while this guy's trying to give his presentation,
I just
he's
wanted
got
to bring
like
that
the mob
point up.
is just
So
like, and
if
he's
you think
giving
we
like
have a lot more
fucking
capacity,
science
we may
presentation,
actually
like
not.
nothing,
So, next slide,
nothing
please.
intense here, guys. It's just some graphs and some, you know, lines.
So our IHME models, which these are the predictive models that we have for case rates. If you can look that up, it's widely available. There's a regular prediction model based on your local data, and then there's a least case and a worst case scenario. There's no slide for that. So we've already hit our predicted number. So we're on the worst case scenario now, which puts us peaking out somewhere in October. So not good. Anyway, here we go. So this is our vaccinations for at least one dose. 60% of our population. This is actually, we're starting to get better movement on vaccination. It's slow, but it's starting to pick up. So
Yeah,
we're at
amazing what happens when the hospitals get full.
For our population with at least one dose, and right at 50 today.
So I'm gonna pause real quick. So the OSU Rural Health thing that they do, like to let people know about how rural health is going, mostly just highlighting the extraordinary disparities between urban and rural areas, which is extremely sad and frustrating. But they put out a thing showing vaccination rates by county. And oddly enough, the number one county in Oklahoma is Caddo County, which is just to the west of like OKC. When I say just to the west, so like I think south of El Reno, west of like Mustang and Yukon. But anyway, pretty big county, pretty rural county. I mean, definitely not like the area, you know, given that there is like a 10%, you know, disparity between vaccination rates between urban and rural. But they're number one in the state. I tried to call the health department. You know, their person was out doing a clinic. I don't know if it was a vaccine clinic, but they were out doing something. The person that runs that. But I left my name and number, so if they call me back and give me any information. I'm just curious, like, one, if the data is right. You know, it could be a reporting error or something. Could have gotten coded wrong. But if it is right, which I have every reason to believe that it is, I want to know what they're doing. And I'm betting it's something just really simple and really, like, chill. Like, they just have a very motivated employee that's out there hustling. And it just shows you that, like, and building trust and community relationship and, you know, getting it out to the people that need it. I mean, just, to me, I mean, my theory that I'm going to attempt to prove is that, you know, they just are doing the right things you should do to get people to commit to the vaccine. But anyway, I'll get to that. But it just shows you, I mean, you know, hospitals overflowing motivates people.
It's okay. I know. I know it's struggling with it. So, and then for anyone that was eligible for vaccine, which is 12 and above, we're at 73% for one dose and 60%, 0.3 for fully vaccinated. We've done an exceptionally good job with our over 65 population. You can see those numbers. That's exceptionally good.
The people most likely to die from this,
slide,
they got out there and got it done.
So this is just an example of our vaccination rates. The last time we saw these kind of numbers was back in May. And that's when vaccine became available for these 12 to 15-year-olds. By the way, that age group is really starting to pick back up with the start of school again. I think everybody's seeing the utility in trying to get vaccinated. So we do have another holiday coming up pretty quick. So we always get bumps on holidays during COVID when we expect one now. Well, I hope we don't, but we might. So this is the strategy that we want to put up there. You know, one thing is not going to affect the outcome of what happens with COVID. It really takes several things. Vaccination is by far the most effective way to keep yourself from getting COVID.
Everybody gets to speak. It's a beautiful thing about City Hall. All you got to do is fill out a yellow sheet. He's not going to yell when you speak. You keep your mouth shut when he speaks. Thank you. Go ahead, Phil.
God dang.
Next thing is wearing a mask, washing your hands, practicing
literally,
social
like,
distancing,
can't even
and avoiding
hear.
large gatherings, especially
Like,
indoors.
They can't even hear
This
like
is why,
information. That's how
when
brain
two
damaged
weeks
they
ago,
are.
when you guys had a resolution to support the CDC guidance, we fully support that. Because what that says is if you're indoors, universal masking should be going on right now because we're in a high level of transmission. Next slide, please. So if you need to get tested, you can go to our Test OKC website. It will give you our locations. You will need to call to set up an appointment to do that. It's also the same for the next slide for Vax OKC.
My God, these comments in the
That one you can do
YouTube are
online.
So ridiculous.
And we'll try to get you vaccinated. I will tell you, our appointments are really picking up. So be patient. We'll get to you the best we can. So that's really all I have right now. Any questions from the council?
All right, so that very short presentation is like the setup kind of for the whole rest of the meeting.